All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started here. I want to first introduce myself. My name is Zach. I am the founder of iBluSend, and I'm here to really prove a point on who we are and why we're different than every other iMessaging service on the market. And if you guys are familiar with SendBlue, LinkBlue, Project Blue, Blueo, those are all hosted infrastructure providers. And what makes us very special is we are giving back to the businesses and the agencies by basically giving the system that these big players in the market have, so you can use it in your agency or business. And so, first and foremost, it's good to understand the difference between hosted infrastructure and bring your own device. And why what we've done here is so special, and how it's going to impact your business when you can actually afford it. So hosted infrastructure means that you've got a server phone farm, and you're running all of the iMessage completely over API, and you're doing it on jailbroken devices with phones. And then as a hosted infrastructure provider, you are essentially renting your system to users. Okay, where we are different is we have a pricing model that is based around bringing your own devices and using that mapping system to be able to map your GHL accounts, to be able to programmatically send iMessage all through our system. So we're basically giving the system that these big players charge you anywhere from $500 to $1,000 a month for a single line, a dedicated line, for fractions of what that would actually cost you in reality with us. So now, if you've looked at our plans, you know that we have a $25 starter plan, we have a $99 pro plan, which gives you up to 5 devices, and we have an agency plan that gives you up to 20 devices. And these are bring your own devices. But if you do the math, and I'll walk through this as we go through this webinar, it's pretty amazing, because literally, you can spend $200 a month with us and have up to 20 lines versus $1,000 a month for a single dedicated line with SendBlue. Okay. And very similar with LinkBlue and many of the other big players out there. They run great businesses, but they're not cheap. Okay. And so as we progress through this, I'll explain what you can do with our system. I'll show you how it integrates with HighLevel, and I'm gonna really prove some pretty amazing points that I think will blow you guys away as far as how our system works. Okay. So how GHL agencies, and you could also be a normal business, send blue bubbles that get 3x more replies, 3 times more replies. And why you truly never have to pay, $300, $500 a month again for a single dedicated line. It's just not scalable, and you can't do this as a GHL agency, especially if you want to resell this to your clients. There's no way to white label those services. And so we're giving you that ability to white label our iMessaging service inside your GHL with sub accounts or with your custom application, because we actually have a full REST API, and you can actually access our entire system programmatically with white label API URLs. Okay. So let's jump on and let's go through this. So before we start, who is this for? So this is for any business that wants to improve your conversions, and you will see it. I mean, we're talking 200% conversion rate above and beyond what you would see with SMS, because unfortunately, with SMS, you've got spam filtering, carrier filtering, and many times your delivery rates are probably going to end up at around 20 to 30%. And this is after going through A2P and all the garbage that you have to deal with trying to get numbers approved on Twilio or these other systems. And you don't have to go through A2P or do any of that with iMessage. So it becomes very, very powerful. So who is this for? This is a native integration with HighLevel, but we built an entire marketing platform around iMessage, okay? And what makes us so special is we've been in the HighLevel ecosystem for years. And as an agency, we were an app development agency. We really deeply understood what was needed and how it should work with HighLevel. But more than just that, how the system should work, whether somebody has HighLevel or not. So our development team did some amazing things here. And so if you are running a GHL agency and you're selling services and packaging it with a GHL sub account, well, you now can basically integrate our system directly into it. So users can either use their existing phone, set up a new phone, set it up there, or the managed way of doing it. And you could actually manage it for them and charge them a monthly fee. You could charge them a monthly fee if they're connecting their own devices, and have one plan that's a little bit more expensive and one plan that's maybe a little bit less. Bear with me today too. Our whole family is super sick, so I sound like crap, but I'm gonna do my best with the energy level I have and go through this with you guys. So listen, if you're already on a service like LinkBlue or SendBlue, you're probably paying somewhere between $289 and $1,000 a month per line. Crazy. We've seen an interesting exodus from SendBlue coming to us in the non-hosted infrastructure, because people really believe in it, and especially at the cost levels. And I'm not going to say anything negative about those guys. It's just a different service. And I think they run a great business, but it's very expensive, and it's really not scalable for the average agency or business, okay? Especially if you want to add multiple lines, if you want to really configure your communications with your clients or set up multiple sub accounts, okay? Now, you probably do want to offer iMessage. You probably have clients that are saying, hey, I would love to use iMessage inside of my Highlevel account if they know it's a Highlevel account. Or in the Whitelabel side of things, if you're not presenting Highlevel as Highlevel, then you could still be like, hey, this is on our menu. This is something we offer. And so if you want to incorporate iMessage into our system so you can use it for your clients, we can do that for you. So really, the sky's the limit. And there's lots of different business models on how to handle that, okay? So if you're tired of A2P, 10DLC, carrier filtering, and going through the A2P process is just like, it's mind numbing. You'll have 20 approvals, and then legitimately, like next week, for some reason, nothing gets approved and everything's failing, and you're paying the fees for every time those numbers fail, yet you're trying to get your client a new SMS number. And when you finally do, you've got 20 to 30% delivery rates. Yay, right? That's fun. So listen, man, you can completely avoid having to deal with 10DLC because iMessage is a messaging service, and you can really, really boost not only your delivery rates, but we all know if we get a green text that says reply stop to unsubscribe, we're unsubscribing. And if we get a blue text, we're much more likely to respond to that, okay? Of course, intelligent copy and good marketing comes into play. Don't be annoying. Make sure you have like custom opt-out messaging that doesn't seem spammy. That's always key. So what will you walk away with today? A full understanding of who iBluSend is, why it matters, and how you can start using it in your business, in your GHL account today, okay? And you will understand exactly why iMessage outperforms SMS. I will keep touching on it throughout the entire webinar today because I think it's really important that you all understand exactly why iMessage does outperform SMS and why truly the gap is getting wider every day and how powerful this can be when you bring it into your business, okay? You're going to see a live demo of our platform and understand exactly how you can use it to boost your margins in your agency. And you'll actually see real messages, real-time sync in our system, our real dashboard, our embeddable dashboards that you can embed right into Highlevel, our custom menu link, all of the features that we have built around the iBluSend platform, okay? And you'll know the exact math, right? The hardware. So okay, I've got to invest in a Mac Mini and I need to get some phones and I need to sign up for a plan. All this is easy because you control it all, as opposed to all of the big host infrastructure providers. You get to set up, okay, I want to set up my service for $15 a month on Tello, and I can scale doing that. I can buy used iPhone XRs. I can buy them on Facebook Marketplace. I can buy them from Best Buy, and they're around 150 bucks. And if I buy a Mac Mini, how many phones can I set up with it? You can actually set up 5. We recommend 4, but with Apple fast user switching, which was originally designed for families, so you could switch between user profiles. So I've got a user profile on the computer, my wife has one, my 3 kids have one, and we can all switch between those profiles quickly. Well, our bridge systems run simultaneously on all of these signed in users on one Mac. It could be an iMac, it could be a Mac Mini, it could be a laptop, really however you want to configure it. So if you've already got some of those things, you can just start using it today. And then you might want to set up some dedicated lines if you're planning to do your own outreach, or maybe you want to provide it for your clients, and then you would sign up new lines of service, get the phones ready, and just connect up their GHL sub account and connect up their phone, connect it up to our system, and then you can start using it right away in your system. And again, I'm going to talk about this one more time. If you are building custom apps and you want to integrate iMessage into your system, we have a full REST API, we have a sandbox, so you can get in there, start testing webhooks, and actually start using it with your custom integration. So do keep that in mind. So there is an exclusive offer that we give one time to any user when we first interact with them. And on this webinar today, if you're not here to get it, you don't say, I want this thing, it's gone. So a lot of times, just in case people miss the webinar, we're probably going to blanket every attendee with this offer. And once it's sent once, we don't send it again. This is 50% off our agency plan, which is on discount. It's right now $299 from $199. It's going back to $299 next month, okay? We've just seen significant growth and our pricing model was very low. We're going to adjust it back up to $299. And so right now, this works out to about 67% off your first year if you sign up for the annual plan on our agency plan. So you gotta basically get it once, get the offer, and there you go. There you have it. So, all right. So I've introduced myself once, but on a webinar, it's always important to reintroduce yourself, especially for late attendees. Who am I? My name is Zach, and I had a vision because I was spending a crazy amount of money on third-party providers for sending blue bubbles. Okay. And I'm the founder of iBluSend. I've run a 7-figure agency for over 5 years, primarily focused on app development before vibe coding kind of went crazy and everybody thought they could build something a lot more difficult than you might think. And so our agency was actually spending more on iMessage than a big portion of our team, which is crazy, right? So, but we needed it. We needed it for lead gen campaigns when we were running meta campaigns or Google, and we like realized real quick, this is nuts. We're an app development agency. We got to figure this out. So we're talking like probably almost 2 years of development to get to where we are now, to get to a system that has the stability and the back-end capability of SendBlue and LinkBlue and all these other hosted infrastructure. And again, giving back to the agencies and the businesses. Okay. So the 4,800 month problem, it was real. it was a billing nightmare for us, but we recognized that we really had to have blue bubbles in our lead response, and going through A2P for clients and everything else was a nightmare. We just like realized this is a real problem. And there was really not that many players, so I'm not gonna say who we were signed up with, but we were spending a lot of money, and we had 12 iMessage lines that we were spending 400 plus a month on, and we had no control of those. Okay, and this is just the ability to send blue bubbles. It matters, it really does matter. Okay, so what do? We cancel the service, we lose every number, every contact, every conversion. Like we don't own the devices. If we cancel, what do we do? And it's already signed up. We got these numbers connected to the system. It's gonna take days to disconnect. We're like, how do we separate ourselves from this? Okay. Well, we ultimately realized that we were renting infrastructure, and that's what hosted providers do. You're renting their infrastructure. So SendBlue, LinkBlue, Project Blue. I actually really like Blueo, so I'm not going to call them out. But all these other guys charge a crazy amount, and so our ultimate goal is not to call them out on a bad service. They provide great service, okay? But the cost is just not scalable. So we wanted to build something by giving back to the agencies, back to the businesses that is actually scalable, okay? And with our system, it is, and you can white label it. So we'll keep going through this. So we really built iBluSend initially for our own agency because we needed a solution. And down the road, we started opening it up to our actual sub accounts. So like, hey, are you interested in iMessage? Because we now have a new service that you can try within your sub account. And that was really, I think, the initial stepping stone. Like we realized real quick, like, okay, this is pretty amazing. Our clients want this. This is a real service, and it's working for us. And wow. So where do we go from here? So ultimately, the competitors in the market, they really don't want you to know that there's options, real solid options that you can actually use. And, like crazy, like $289 per month, $400 a month. We've seen SendBlue recently for dedicated lines with our service charging $1,000 a month. So this isn't even right anymore. But again, SendBlue has an awesome service. They have got it dialed in, but you also don't have control of the phone. You don't have the ability to use the phone like normal. And at iBluSend, all of us actually use the phones like normal. And if you're using conversational AI, I can't tell you how amazing it is to actually see the conversation live on iMessage. Just look at your phone, there it is. You can jump in whenever you want. You've got conversational AI systems that we can actually assign at the device level. So we can have 10 agents on 10 different phones. Pretty spectacular having the physical device. Now, again, depending on your business model with your agency clients, you might manage it for them, so they might not have the phone. But for those that actually do want to use their own phone in their business, there's a lot of small businesses out there that are already using their phone. They do have a Mac at home, and they could connect up to the system, completely white label with your branding, and connect up to the Highlevel account and communicate through Lead Connector and Highlevel with iMessage, with reactions, with Apple Voice memos, with all the things that you should have with a crazy fast latency through the iMessage channel inside of Highlevel. So, okay. Now, with these hosted infrastructures, you own nothing. So if I have to invest in a Mac Mini and I have to buy some phones, big whoop. You know why? Because you're going to pay for it in less than a month. Okay. Especially with the pricing that you're seeing from these guys. And you could own a Mac Mini. You could set up OpenClaw on it. You could own a few more phones. Not a big deal. Just keep them plugged in, keep your background energy settings right on your Mac. And these bridges will run 24/7. We have full uptime monitors. We're all on developer Apple beta. So we're all watching when Apple updates something, and we update it before you even hear about it. And then guess what? Every bridge system on our network automatically passively updates. So this is massive. We are designed for fleet capability, and we're already starting to see the enterprise clients. If you want to scale 250 devices or 500 devices or 1,000 devices or up to 5,000 devices, we have enterprise plans for that at the device level, because our system, when we push an update, automatically updates all the machines. So if you are a larger enterprise level client and you want to set up your own infrastructure without having to actually really have to worry about it or manage it and set it up right, with our passive updating and our configuration for our bridges, you will not see anything like it, okay? So I do want to really call this out, and the shared phone farms, they do violate Apple's terms of service. And so we are not ever going to be a hosted infrastructure. That's not what we do. You essentially can set up your own Apple IDs, your own devices. We don't want to manage that. And we're also capping those messages based on Apple's sender trust limit. So the most you can send is 75 per day for cold outbound, people you've never talked to before. But once they respond, it's unlimited messaging. There's no cost per message. And it automatically drops them off that 75. Like cold email. I like to draw attention to this. If you do have an Apple ID, you should slowly ramp it up. And we have fleet warming processes, but you want to slowly ramp that up. So that way you fall within Apple's sender trust limits, and you don't look spammy in the eyes of Apple, and you're not doing things that are against Apple's best practices. We do not jailbreak Apple devices. We do not manage your devices for you. We allow you to set them up and manage them yourself. And very easy to do if you are an enterprise level client. You invest in your Macs, you get somebody on your team to actually manage the setup, get it going, and then it's pretty turnkey after that, okay? So again, this is why we are not a hosted infrastructure. And I'm going to talk about a couple things that I think really matter here. Listen, LinkBlue, SendBlue, they all got big VC funding, okay? Even with Apple's terms of service, okay? So keep that in mind. Like, that's legitimate. Like, this is a real opportunity. And we want to make sure, as we fall in line with Apple, as opposed to the hosted infrastructure system with jailbroken devices. Like, even our ability to send Apple voice memos is done through a programmatic way that is not violating Apple's terms of service through a jailbroken device, through the API they don't want you to have access through. We've done it the right way, okay? Now, I just talked about this. I always move out these presentations quite a few times now. SendBlue just got 20 million of VC back money. We are bootstrapped and we love it. You know why? Because we don't have to report to any VCs. We can actually make decisions on the fly. We can take user feedback and add new features as we see fit, when we want to, as quick as we want to. And so being bootstrapped has given us the real edge on the capability that we want to give to our users. And, as far as these hosted infrastructure providers, if Apple ever did put their foot down, they're going to go after the hosted infrastructure. So keep that in mind. We are not managing your Apple IDs. We're not managing your devices. We're just allowing you to connect up to our system. Okay. Now, I'm going to touch on it again. You might hear some repetitive stuff from me. Again, we know how difficult A2P is in 10DLC. Even as us as an agency, we go through, we get 20 approvals, everything's working perfectly, and then for some reason something changed in the process of how we need to get approvals, and all of a sudden we can't get approved. We have no idea why. And there's all these services in the GHL community that are trying to sell, like, manage your A2P and get it done for you. It's just a whole nightmare, and your clients shouldn't be waiting around to actually get a spammy phone number, because once they finally get one, they're going to get a spammy phone number that has 20 to 30% delivery rates. Then if it was ever flagged, AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon, whatever carrier it is, maybe that number was spam flagged on their network, and for whatever reason, the delivery rate results in 20 and 30% because it's getting filtered out. The recipient is never receiving those. So we went through this A2P thing, and we finally got a spammy number. Yay! So that's awesome, right? All right, so truly, the problem for your agencies or your business is probably network strategy. I mean, legitimately, you probably have a very good marketing plan. You've got very good copy. You've got great looking sites. You can build amazing sites now with AI tools, and you can really build some amazing automated processes. But where things start to fall off is you've got cold email, you've got paid ads, and you've got to follow up with these people. And if you're doing it through the spammy SMS channel, it's just gonna run your conversions in the ground. Okay, so I would say that your offers were probably never the problem. Your open rates definitely are. Okay, that's it, and the delivery rates, because guess what? Nobody opens what they never receive. It's just part of it. And so we know the bottleneck was never copy. It was the audience or timing or any of that crap. It was just being able to actually deliver these messages and not look spammy. Okay. So, do you really want to look at other SMS services? Not really, because you're still going to have to go through this A2P thing. And I'm telling you, the hosted iMessage situation it's not scalable, And the custom jailbreak solutions, what I mean by that is, like the API, for instance, for Apple voice memos, only Apple has access to that. And so you're going to jailbreak a device to be able to programmatically send Apple voice memos over API. Totally unnecessary, not needed. You can do it the right way, and our system does it the right way without jailbroken devices. Easy setup process when you first join up on iBluSend, okay? So really, nothing was ever built for scale for agencies or businesses. We are giving back to you guys because we built something that we believe in, we love, and we want to support other agencies and businesses that truly want to build their own foundation, their own business, their own SaaS, and be able to provide iMessage. And so that's what we've done, okay? So we all know this. What do we respond to? Do we respond to this spammy looking green message, or the actual normal looking blue bubble? Well, Apple has kind of trained us. If you are in the Apple ecosystem, we just only respond to certain types of texts. And we know that if it's a green text and it says reply, stop, unsubscribe, it's marketing, and we are going to, pardon my French, we're going to shit can it. So yeah, that happens. Mustache. Okay, let's keep going here. What if we ran iMessage legitimately on hardware that we actually own? Like, it's ours, right? So, okay, yeah, I have to invest in some Apple equipment. And I get complaints all the time from prospective users that don't really understand what we're giving you guys, okay? And they're like, oh, I have to buy a Mac and I've got to get a phone and it's going to take all this time and I'm going to have to set this up. Give me a break. You're going to return on investment in your first month, okay? And then you own it. Set up an OpenClaw on there. Do some other stuff with it. You can run all sorts of systems on a Mac. So not only can you use it for the iMessage to improve your business and become more profitable, but you also have this equipment that you can now use for other purposes. So just think about that. Let it sink in, So for us, the moment really changed was okay, we've got this in our system, right? We've got the iMessage in our system finally, and we've got a prototype that is amazing, and we didn't have to do it through a jailbroken solution. And there was no A2P registration. There was no fees on the actual per message segment. We're not paying all this crazy money for MMS. It was just awesome. And we're getting the delivery rates and we're getting responses. And so 2 years of building, and we finally were yeah, we got this, we got it. And there was still a lot that we had to figure out, but excuse me, but 2 years of real development. I mean, like, still to this day, working 24/7 with the team. We're there because we really believe in what we've built and what we're building, because we want to improve your lives, not just ours. We actually really listen to every single user because we want to give back to the agency community, to the businesses that don't have the capability to do this, that can't afford it with these hosted infrastructure providers. Okay. So our first prototype was like world of difference. Oh my God. It was like, okay, we're going to cancel all of our Twilio numbers. Actually, we're not just going to cancel them. We're going to actually port them all to cell phones. Yes. And you can do that with Tello or Alpha Wing, which we're partnered with. And the average monthly cost for services is around $15 a month. I mean, just the phone number alone in Twilio is $1.15. So you could have service on a phone, right? That you're paired up to the Apple ID on the computer, blah, blah, blah. And guess what? It's like $15 a month. And that's all you really need. And we've got users all over the world that are able to set this up pretty instantly with these different carriers. There are different carriers in other countries, so a little bit of a different configuration there, but we do support all the major countries, okay, with the E164 format, okay? So then we were like, really like, okay, so how do we make it easier for agencies and businesses to really set this up from like a multi-line standpoint, right? So like 1 Mac, 4 iPhones, how do we do this? And actually it's 1 Mac, 5 iPhones, because Apple Fast User Switching has 5 user profiles, but we've seen that it's actually better as far as staying in line with Apple Center Trust to set up only 4 devices and running bridge systems on 1 Mac at any given time, okay? So 4 phones, let's just say per Mac, you could have 5 iMacs, 5 Mac Minis, 5 whatever, you can mix and match, and you could run 20 lines. And so just think of each line as an opportunity for one of your sub accounts if you're on GHL. And so if we know that the hosted infrastructure like LinkBlue, SendBlue, everybody else is on average, $500 to $1,000 a month for a dedicated line, what could you charge your users to use iMessage and be competitive? Well, probably around $200 a month, right? That sounds pretty reasonable. So let me think about this. $200 a month, right? $200 a month. Okay. Well, what does our agency plan cost? It's $200 a month. So I have another 19 lines of opportunity that I could sell for $200 a month. So what are your margins? Pretty simple. Okay. Pretty simple. So just hopefully that opens your eyes to what's real here, and your small one-time investment to get some equipment and set it up and just put it in a closet somewhere and run it for your agency, okay? And of course you can scale past 20 devices. We have enterprise packs. Again, if you go to the 250, 500, 1,000, we do have those clients. That's a whole nother realm of a ton of sub accounts and being able to really pitch these to your existing users, okay? Put it on your menu, and make some money. So I won't drill too much further than that, but pretty simple math, okay? So, for us, when we really started seeing the change is after we started rolling it out to our agency clients and we realized, like, oh, wow, everybody wants this. And at first we did it as like a beta. We're just like, you know what? We're going to roll these out. You're already paying us for services. We'd be happy to help you integrate iMessage into your systems. And we were like, had no intention of reselling this. Just FYI, like it was never something that really occurred to us till a little bit later when we had that epiphany. Okay. And the results for the clients were immediate. We didn't have to go through A2P. It was just like really fast. It was just like, wow. Okay. And so, in that realization came like, okay, what about everybody else on Highlevel and all these other agencies that really want to have iMessage incorporated into their business and to provide with their sub accounts, right? So like, we're like, okay, they're dealing with this exact same problem that we were dealing with. And we're seeing it more and more as people are like, yeah, I've tried every service. I've done the sales calls with all these guys. And, we're coming to you because we realize what you're offering. And it's because it's real. It is real. And we could say this right now. We built an entire marketing platform around iMessage, okay? But let's take all of that away. All the features, all the things that you see, the dashboards, the conversational AI. What if it was just the base level of service so I can integrate with my custom solution through API, or to connect in my sub account and allow my users to actually send iMessages? We're still so valuable when you think about, okay, now I'm getting all this other stuff on top of iMessage inside the system that is continually evolving and becoming better and better every single day. So let that sink in. Like, forget all the other features, just the base capability of being able to integrate with my Highlevel account or integrate with my custom solution. Man, okay, that alone at our pricing is already crazy valuable. Then when you start to stack on our conversational AI that you can assign at the device level, our actual system that is now integrated with Telnix, our Chrome web extension to where you can actually dial out, the verified caller ID so you can actually call out using the iMessage number, using masking and still have call tracking inside of Highlevel and call logs, or the capability that I could literally change the telephony provider inside of GHL, right? And I can use GHL's conversational AI, or I can use Closebot, or really whatever third-party service I want to use, because guess what? We're integrated with it. So pretty slick, okay? So we're like, okay, we've just solved this problem, and we are creating a pricing structure and an infrastructure that gives back to businesses and agencies, okay? And feedback is starting to come in. We've built an amazing affiliate program already inside of First Promoter. If you want to just be an affiliate, listen, we're giving 20% on recurring subscriptions. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on that, but you can sign up right on our website, get approval, and become an affiliate for us and promote it on YouTube. All of these, by the way, are going to go on YouTube. The more and more we do these webinars, we want to share with you what we built, why it matters, and how you can profit from it. Because listen, at the end of the day, what matters is we all need to be more profitable in our business. We need to provide better services, and we are allowing you to do that. So the reviews are coming in. I love this guy. This guy's great. He was one of our first early adopters. DTF Print Shop. They do high volume, and they literally swapped out all of their SMS in Highlevel for their automations, for their e-commerce, and 200% increase in conversion. So like, wow, right? So really great feedback from people already. So I love his story because he was one of the first early adopters that was actually on our platform. And as soon as he switched to us, man, he saw a 200% increase in conversions overnight. So like, how ridiculous is that? And the only variable that changed was the channel. He switched from SMS to iMessage using our advanced system. So I have one more story I'd like to share because this really pertains to delivery rates, right? Why do delivery rates really matter? So we had another agency that had a cold prospect that was not responding to SMS before they signed up with us. And they didn't understand why. They were like, we're sending these messages out. It shows delivered. What's happening? So they sent one message from iBluSend. They got a reply in 4 minutes. And the crazy thing is the reply from the actual client was, hey, I never got any of your messages. Seriously, like, okay, there we go, proof, right? What if you're in the marijuana industry or certain financial industries? Guess what? If you have certain keywords in that SMS, it won't receive it. It'll get filtered out because there is keyword detection in Twilio. And some of those messages will never arrive, not even because of spam, but because of keyword detection. So keep that in mind. The crazy thing is here, the client said, okay, I didn't get any of your messages. They got this message and they replied in 4 minutes. They booked the call the next day, and that agency just closed a $10,000 deal that they never had before. So do I really want to risk my agency's profitability on delivery rates with SMS? No, you don't. It's crazy. So this is why we solved this problem for us initially, for this exact reason. It is too dangerous to spend all this money on leads and generating leads and trying to be profitable and to miss opportunities that we should never miss, okay? So same contacts, same offer, but 200% more increase in conversions. Like, hello, like it's obvious. And you know, we saw another agency here too. I'll talk about this. They're running loyalty offers for restaurant clients, and same kind of thing. Like they got way more attendance, way more people booking reservations just by switching this, okay? And they were able to also boost their reviews using review automation, using iMessage. Because guess what? If you're gonna run a database reactivation campaign for getting reviews, use iMessage for it. Seriously, it will drive those reviews through the roof, okay? So again, the average is about a 200% increase in conversions above and beyond what you would have with SMS. And that's partially due to delivery rates, carrier filtering, keyword filtering, all of the things that just kill your campaigns, okay? And so, you know, really, like, you might think your SMS results were fine, but, you know, if your Twilio or Lead Connector dashboard says 100% delivery, no, it's not true, because it's getting filtered at the recipient level. So just keep that in mind, okay? So listen, we don't rent our home office. You might rent your normal office, that might be normal, but you don't rent your laptop. And so why the heck are you renting somebody else's infrastructure for iMessaging when you can pay off your investment in some hardware in the first month and then own it and be able to use it however you want? And then the only fee you're gonna have is our marginal small subscription fee, okay? That's it. And then you get access to everything else in our system. So secret number one, I can't use iMessage. I can't, you know, it's my business here. I can't like actually you know, be texting people on my phone for my business. I've got too much to do. I'm too busy. This is just not going to work. Not true, because you can set up all those automations inside of Highlevel or programmatically with an agentic system or through API, however your business runs or your agency runs. Yeah, you can do it, and you can do it affordably with iBluSend as opposed to hosted infrastructure. So it is true, it is real. And so let's drill in again on all these things that I've been touching throughout this webinar. So like, this is the kind of hidden truth about like business texting. The carrier filtering, keyword filtering, spam filtering, A2P registration. It's not hidden. We all know about it, but it's real and it's a big pain in the ass. Per segment fees. Well, what the heck is that? Okay, so I've got what, 150, 160 characters limit. If I go over that limit, then the cost increases. If I go in my Highlevel billing dashboard, I'll see all of my sub accounts and I'll see the crazy charges for my monthly SMS bills. And I'm like, what is this? This is crazy. This is so expensive. I am spending so much just on SMS to have a 20 to 30% delivery rate. What the heck is wrong with me? Why am I doing this? And then of course the green bubble Sigma, right? So, man, you're not in the in crowd if you're green, man. Like I got some buddies, right? They got Androids, and like I text them, I'm like, oh, you guy, what's the matter with you? Get an iPhone, for goodness sakes. I know Apple's a little bit snooty and we're, you know, kind of pretentious, but guess what? All of the people that typically have iPhones are high value clients, and there are statistics around this. Okay, Apple users typically are more affluent. So wouldn't you like to be able to communicate with the more affluent crowd? Yeah, obviously. So how about we not send them spammy looking texts and use iMessage for that? And how about we reduce our cost for spammy looking texts and not have per segment fees and actually get a delivery rate that's around 100%. Okay, I'm gonna move on, but I think you get the point. So why does Blue Bubbles change everything? Why is it so immense? Why is it like the rocket ship of gold? Because it actually is. We know what cold email does. It's great, high volumes. You should still maybe use SMS for just blanket garbage, cold outreach. You should be still following TCPA compliance. Still recommend that, obviously, especially if you're messing around with like Texas or one of those states. Gotta be careful with how you communicate with people because there is regulation around it. So I will say it right there. TCPA compliance, very important. The reply stop to unsubscribe is not required with iMessage, okay? Because it is a messaging service like WhatsApp or anything else. It's not business SMS. So it is a different thing. But I still recommend casual style opt-out messaging. So instead of having the reply stop to subscribe at the end of the text, how about we have a pre-message that says, hey, this is Zach with so-and-so insurance company, and I just want to reach out and see if you still have any interest in working with us about this thing. And hey, real quick, if for any reason we reached you and you don't want to hear from us, please don't mark as spam. Just reply real quick and we'll drop you off our list. Something like that really is effective because we're communicating with other human beings, and you have to think like I'm communicating with another human being. So if we have proper opt-out messaging that doesn't look spammy, is personalized, you're also going to reduce the spam tagging and spam flagging. So there's all sorts of things that you can do to just improve not only your delivery rates, but also how you're communicating with your clients. And when you're doing it over iMessage, it's just all better, okay? So Blue Bubble Trust, I've talked about this. Apple has trained us here, and Apple has trained your prospects. And if they are a more affluent crowd, they are most likely going to ignore the green bubbles. So it's just the reality. It's just the way it is. So would I not want 200% more conversion value than SMS? Yeah, obviously. So, but what if I could do that really affordably? Well, again, I'm going to say it one more time, maybe not one more time, probably a few more times, but you can do it with iBluSend, okay? All right, so let's skip on past A2P. The big one here, big. So on Twilio lead connector, right? So we send a message, they just see a regular link. There's no rich media, there's no rich preview. If I send a video, it just shows up as a link. It looks kind of spammy. I don't have Apple voice memos, so I can't actually send in that nice format. Like if you've got a Screen Studio link or a website that has a website preview for a social share image, guess what? Those things actually show up, and they show up normal in those messages as opposed to just like a spammy looking link that nobody's gonna want to click, like your contract or whatever it is. You could actually send a PDF. Like what the heck? Send a PDF programmatically, and it can receive it, and it doesn't look spammy. So those are the kinds of things that just really drive those conversions through the roof. And the intelligent marketing agencies that are using it effectively and using all these features are absolutely killing it. So jump on the bandwagon. Seriously, like you have to do it. We did it, obviously. So the real price comparison, and this isn't even real right now. That's the crazy thing. So SendBlue is actually charging around $1,000 per dedicated line. And again, they got a great service. They're really targeting corporate level integrations through API only, but it's still, in my opinion, an unnecessary cost. Link is now, I think, closer to, I don't know, $300-600 a month or something like that. Link is really more known for the developer side of things when it comes to iMessage, but they do have the dedicated lines and all that. Again, great service, just very expensive. Blueo, love those guys. They're $300 a month. And Project Blue, I don't really know them very well, but we know that they're around $300 a month. And they have certain recommendations on how many messages you should send. I'm hearing a lot of these agencies saying, okay, you should only send about 20 messages, and they're doing the hosted provider infrastructure thing. So when they say that to a client, they're more along the lines of the fear of getting spam flagged by Apple and falling into Apple's sender trust. And really, if you warm up the devices properly over 3 or 4 weeks, and you do proper warming, and you have a consistent volume of not canned looking responses, and you use it properly, and you use the proper opt-out messaging, and you're following TCPA compliance and all the things that you need to do, you can really be up to like 50 to 75 cold outbound a day, just staying within those limits. And so our hard cap here, again, because you're managing your own devices, we're not hosted infrastructure, we're not worried about the Apple shutting that phone number down per se, because guess what? If you warm it up properly and you follow the right process, then you won't get spam flagged. It happens to everybody. I've been spam flagged on my own personal number, but it's actually pretty easy to unwind. I don't know what the true limits are for Apple on how many times you get spam flagged. I would guess it's probably 3 or something per device. But there is a reactivation where you just send them a message, say, hey, for some reason my iMessage isn't working, and you send them this note, and within about 12 hours, they usually activate your iMessage. I would assume Apple probably has different limits on however they do it. But the crazy thing is, if you own your own device, you can just always create a new Apple ID and drop that phone number off that Apple ID and associate it with a different Apple ID. So there's some kind of tricky ways to manage that, especially if you're doing it in volume. But again, don't be spammy and follow the process, warm up your numbers, and you'll be okay. So that's it. And it'll be worth it because you're going to see the crazy conversion value. You're going to see the real delivery rates, the rich media, all the things I've talked about. It's worth it. It's worth it to build this into your business. Okay. And it's actually crucial. And if you don't have it, somebody else will, and they're going to get the conversions that you didn't. So take that with a grain of salt. Okay. All right. So I love this statistic. It's one of my favorites. So, you know, you're looking at your Twilio dashboard or lead connector and like, oh yeah, I've got 100% delivery rate. Are you kidding me? Like, I'm killing it, bro. No, it's probably like 20 to 30% delivery rate real because the recipient never received it. Yeah, you delivered that message, but it got rejected by the recipient. And so what does that result in read rate, right? Read rate, like 23%. That's what I want to do. I want to invest all this money into leads and all this other stuff that I'm doing for marketing. And then I want a 23% read rate because that makes sense. All right, I'm moving on. Okay, secret number 2, you don't need to be technical. You really don't. You might need to know how to use your Apple computer. That's kind of a prerequisite. That being said, we have an awesome help guide, we have an AI in our system, and we have a support staff that literally monitors every support request near instantly, and you will see that from our reviews. We do not mess around. We want every user to love us. Not every user will love us. That's just the way it goes, but we make a massive effort, okay? A massive effort with our users, okay? So it's really 3 steps to get set up, okay? One app, we basically solve this problem for a whole real estate custom setup in 15 minutes on one of our onboardings with a client. And onboarding is optional with us. It's self-serve, so we've got a guided onboarding. If you want somebody to walk you through it and help hold your hand through it, we will do that. We like holding hands. It's kind of nice. It feels warm and fuzzy. So one Mac sits on your desk in your closet, runs 24/7, 0 maintenance. Like, yeah, okay. Auto updates, passive updates. We're pushing updates at the developer level, running developer betas before Apple breaks something. So we know when it happens and then we can fix it on the fly. And we work with truly any CRM because if you got middleware, let's just say Meg, Zapier, N8N, Pabbly, whatever it may be, you can integrate easily using our full REST API, okay? So love it, right? And then you can embed our dashboards too, and your dashboard, and you can pull in your marketing dashboards in our dashboard, and then you can embed that dashboard into your dashboard. So we kind of solved the dashboard problem there also. We have a step-by-step wizard, so macOS permissions. It makes sure that it walks you through this step-by-step on how things work. And our bridge you're gonna love. You can actually monitor everything. You can see everything that's happening live. You can see the uptime monitor. And you will not see a more efficient system that is built for fleet capability, okay? Every box literally checked for you, okay? But you might have to actually read a little bit. And I know some people might be opposed to reading or that kind of thing, but it's kind of a necessity. So anyway. Apple safe by design because it's your Mac, it's your Apple IT. We're not hosting on jailbroken infrastructure and a server phone farm. We are not that. We will never be that. We don't want to be that. We've had users say, hey, when are you going to become a hosted infrastructure? No, we're not doing that because we're a different business model. We want to give you the power back so we don't have to charge you this crazy amount every month. So yeah. All right. So about the passive updates, this was a really big undertaking, and especially when you take into account multiple users all running the bridge instances simultaneously on multiple user accounts. Well, guess what? We figured it out, and we figured it out to where it is just passive. So each Mac, when we push this update, will update automatically behind the scenes. You download it once, install it once on your users, and it's shared across that entire machine, and boom. From then on, every update comes from our team pushed passively. So this is such a massive undertaking and so amazing for our fleet capability. And this is essentially the kind of system that you would see on the back end of LinkBlue or SendBlue that we're giving to you guys as users. So just absolutely massive, okay? All right, I'm gonna show you some platforms because it's kind of fun. I've been talking a lot and it's really tiring and I kind of feel like crap and I got this cold, but I'm just gonna jam through it. And then I'm gonna drop this on YouTube so you guys can all watch me with my stupid mustache, okay? So I'm gonna jump out of these, like obviously we got some numbers in here. So like, privacy stuff, I'll probably have to filter that out after I get through the edits. But this is a prime example of one account, right? That is actually running 4 different bridge instances. And you'll notice like this top bridge right here, this is actually our agency for iBluSend. So somebody goes to the website, they start communicating with our AI chat. It will actually chat over this device, okay? So think of each account as like a pairing. So I have my iPhone and I have my GHL account, or I have a pairing that has my GHL account and 7 iPhones. That's how you can configure it in our system. It's really lovely. So like right here, we're looking, and I've got this button for the slides. It's reminding me to interact. I gotta do that. So we've got 4 devices. We have sender cap of 75 for each. We have all these cool things like fleet health, fleet warm up, device management, GHL connection management. We can see all those right here. These are all multiple GHL accounts. Really pretty platform too. I will say that our design team did a great job on simplifying it. We went through several iterations. We're changing things all the time because really our ultimate goal is ease of use. We want it to be easy for users. And so our system works, natively with our app and our macOS app. It all talks to each other and it talks to the phone. So you're syncing 3 ways. You can use the phone normally. That's a big thing that you don't get with hosted infrastructure, is literally being able to use the phone normally. And everybody at iBluSend, we all have our own phones, and we can see these messages coming across, and a VA can actually get in there and look at the messages in Highlevel, and everybody sees it. Everybody knows what's going on. Okay? So like we got so many features in our platform. I'll show you the dashboard. Let's just click over the dashboard. Recently our team went through a full overhaul of the dashboard. And one thing and this is Zoom. Let's just go ahead and refresh this. Refresh, thank you. So always fun here whenever we're doing a Zoom display. For whatever reason, it crashes everything. But when we get into our dashboard here, it's a bring your own API key configuration in our system. So you can bring your OpenAI key, your Gemini key, your Anthropic key, whatever you want to use. And we have full platform sentiment analysis. So it looks at every contact, looks at all the conversations, looks at the emojis, looks at any of the notes, and gives you a full picture of any missed opportunities in our system. And all you gotta do is just plug in your own API key, and you can use that in our system, okay? You can also buy usage through us, but we recommend you just set it up and have the base cost for whatever your AI service is preferred, okay? So this dashboard is awesome. It tells you everything that's going on. And again, you can embed this dashboard directly in Highlevel, which is really fun, okay? And then again, you can actually embed custom dashboards into our dashboard, like I mentioned before, and then you can embed that dashboard into your custom solution or your HubSpot or your Highlevel, because you can embed these dashboards like that. So pretty cool. The account management, super easy. So let's just look at this agency account one, and you can just manage connection. We also have bridge alerts. So like if for some reason you had a power outage or something like that, by the way, we have recommendations for that. Just get one of those $50 backup batteries for your Macs, and put one for your Macs, and then have one for your router. And if you're running something like any kind of internet service really, but like fiber optic, if your router's still on, you'll still have internet when the power's out everywhere else, and your Macs will still be running, and there'll still be a network connected. So really easy little solutions that you should have in your home anyway, whether you have iBluSend or not. So that way when your power goes out, you can still watch YouTube, because that matters, especially for your 8-year-old, that matters. Okay, moving on. All right, so I've got this first connection in here, and this is this phone, and it will programmatically usually find the phone number automatically once it's connected. But naming convention does kind of matter, because it actually shows in a footer in GHL in your conversation string, especially if you have multiple devices and you have a sales team. There's a few different ways you can set this up, okay? So you can rotate when device hits cap. So if we're doing cold outbound, right? You can rotate on every first message, which is great for warming process. But really, that's really just to run test messages through your own numbers to different contacts to try to manually warm this up. And we've got some agencies doing some interesting things there. Not our goal to totally figure it out for you, but it's there so you can slowly ramp up the load and warm up those devices. The big one here is rotate by salesperson. And how does this work? So if we're in here, and here, let me just scroll up. For some reason, whenever I'm on Zoom, like it just messes with everything. It's really obnoxious. So we can add another device right here. And basically that's where you could have, one sub account connection connected up to like 10 different devices. And there's lots of little cool features. Like we have custom warm up features for the warm up. And if you turn that on, you'll actually see it in your system. Contact card delivery to phone is one of my favorite features. So let's just say somebody communicates to you on the website, it generates a contact in Highlevel. It actually delivers the VCF card to the phone. So if you are using the phone, you can actually see who you're communicating with and just easily store that contact. And then obviously, if you want to deliver contacts to GHL, you could do that as well. Not as much of a use case for that, but it's just, we had it, so it's there. Future coming, we've got a iOS app in development, and that is for outbound calling for our integration with Telnix. So just think verified caller ID. I could download an iOS app and I could dial out from the phone using the iMessage number, using the app, even if I don't have the phone, and I could connect the call that way. And so quite honestly, I think this is much better than the SendBlue solution with FaceTime audio. Listen, when I get a FaceTime call audio from somebody, I think it's just weird. Like, why is this person FaceTiming me? So I'm not sure how effective that truly is. Maybe it is, but it's certainly something down the line we could look at bringing in. I think the key here is the reason we like Telnix is because, you got verified caller ID. It's easy to set up and you can set it up in our system. Okay. And that's under iBluDial. You can also do that just with Highlevel with verified caller ID. That's what iBluDial is. Basically you map it to a lead connector number or a Twilio number. And then when you call, you're actually using the Twilio number, but it's showing the caller ID of the number you're actually calling out from. And that way, if you've been communicating over iMessage, it's showing the same phone number to that prospect, which is super handy. And then you're still getting call logs and everything else inside of GHL or whatever system you're using. So you can actually track those calls and recordings and everything else that come through them. Okay. So really simple setup there, as you can see here. And as far as setting up these devices, this iOS bridge will be coming down the line. But your GHL connection, how easy is this? Okay, so I've got this account set up. I can literally just click connect here and it will connect up to my GHL account, okay, through authentication. We have 2 dedicated native high-level apps, actually. So if you white label our services and you're on agency and you want to resell iMessage, we covered this early on. Really 2 business models. You manage the phones for them and you charge them a higher fee, or you let them connect their existing phone to their GHL account and it's all white label under your branding. They don't see anything GHL and you can charge them maybe a little bit less for that. You can set the pricing in our white label settings. So when they log into their portal for their connection, they'll see whatever monthly fee you're charging them, and then you're probably auto invoicing them from GHL anyway through the billing portal. But the reason we have iMessage Sender versus iBluSend is because it is a gray label, like Lead Connector. So instead of them seeing iBluSend in their GHL dashboard, they'll see iMessage Sender. We also have 2 versions of the app. So if they install our iBluSend bridge, it'll actually say iMessage Sender bridge. So that way, again, it's all under your brand, but nothing is exposed. So beautiful there. We sync GHL team members here. And as far as syncing team members, this is fantastic for salesperson mode. Goodness gracious, Zoom. Come on. All right, so there it is. So you can see we've got 2 users synced. If we go back to the device, you'll see that we can assign at the device level. And why does this matter? So if I have 10 users in GHL that are salespeople or different users, you can assign those phones to the individual users. Now, this gets really complex because we have the dedicated iMessage symbol, and I'll show you this in GHL. So like when you're in the conversation view and you want to message somebody, if one phone is connected, but there are multiple sales reps, the other user assigned when they're in their dashboard will not be able to send through the iMessage channel. And that's on purpose because we don't want other users being able to send through the iMessage channel unless they have an assigned device to them in the system. So if you're planning to set this up for your sales team, get all your devices ready and have them all assigned to the individual sales reps beforehand to just make it a better experience for your team, okay? So I will bring that up now. Now, inside of calendars, we have full Google integration with Google Calendars, so events, and you can integrate your calendars, and we have a full calendar view. Again, we have a marketing platform built around iMessage. But if you use none of it, doesn't matter. You're still getting a massive benefit just with your integration with Highlevel. But we sync high-level calendars, and part of the reason we sync calendars is we have our own conversational AI builder, and I'll explain why that's so powerful. Because there is something that you can do with it that's just inherently more powerful than just one sub-account connection, and I'll explain why. But one thing you'll note about like workflows in Highlevel. So Highlevel will ignore custom conversation providers. So our team built the stop on response, the workflow send windows. So that way, legitimately, you can set all that up here. And that way, it just doesn't just send all the messages or keep replying. So we built that into the back end of our system, okay? So let's go back to accounts. And I want to show you something. You'll notice that we have bot assignment here, right? So you can actually see that bot assignment. And we have bot assignment at the device level. Why does that matter? Well, if you're inside of GHL, and I don't know if I can switch over here. I'm going to do a new share here. Just a sec. This is the one interesting thing because we got 2 pop-out windows, but like just the thing there gets a little goofy. So let's do a quick new share moment. And we're going to go into a GHL account and we're going to do this one right here. All right, so we're in a GHL account. And so if we go to our settings here and we go to phone system and we'll just launch this up. Well, basically, once you set us as the primary conversation provider inside of GHL, then you can use their conversational AI. Fantastic. GHL has built a great system there. But basically, in our system, since we have bot device assignment at the device level, this is where it gets really powerful because you can assign multiple bots to multiple phone numbers instead of just the default phone number in GHL. So it's a big one, but maybe you just want to keep everything in the ecosystem. You can see all of these messages through here with the footers. Everything syncs up, and these are all iBluSend. We have group threads, so you can actually start group threads and see threads inside of GHL, which is rockstar. And then if we get into the actual workflow side of things, we got like a little tester here, so we can show you how some of these workflow actions work. And so real quick, before I show you anything there, let's just search for iBluSend. And you'll see we have all these workflow actions. We have a ton of triggers as well. But send media message. Let's just say I actually want to send a message here, and I've got the file extension, everything set up, so I can actually fire off a workflow with an attached MP3 file that will automatically convert to Opus CAF, which is the Apple Voice Memo format, run through the bridge, and do it all through automations. Okay. The other thing you have to be mindful of is with custom conversation providers and custom workflow actions, high level, the if else statements and stuff like that don't work. So we built a lot of cool workflows. So let's just search iBluSend again. And, something that I really like is the, there's keyword router, there's sentiment routing. And so we have like a plethora of like all of the positive keywords and negative keywords that our server recognizes. And so you can basically just set up a simple wait for reply on the sentiment, and then just have autopilot with your conversational AI take over. So you don't have to be real complex on what you're building with your workflows, especially with AI these days. But we have all of this built in, okay? It's just built into our system. Even the drip, paste, send, and assign iMessage device, all of those workflow actions are in here. But one of the big ones is this 10 branch, okay? And because if-else statements are widely used across GHL, and the difficulty there is the normal if-else will not work with custom conversation provider workflow actions. So we built our own. It has 10 branches, okay? And so you'll notice if you look at any of these branches, we'll just look at the match types. Look at this: exact match, contains, does not contain, is not. That will cover 99.9% of everything you need to do with an if else statement. So lots more coming there, but this is the kind of stuff that our team has been building to just really give you full control over workflows with iBluSend. I'm going to draw your attention to one more thing while we're in here. And this one makes me a little sad. So you'll notice that these are 0 execution costs, right, from Highlevel. There's this one that our team just built that didn't fix. It's 1 cent, right? Well, unfortunately, Highlevel in June is discontinuing the beta execution waiver program. So these will have the premium execution costs. This has nothing to do with iBluSend. This is all Highlevel. So I don't care if you're on SendBlue or any other iMessage service, there's going to be the premium execution cost associated with it. So just keep that in mind. It's just where Highlevel is going there. I wish they wouldn't do it. I think they don't need to, especially with all the other things, but I still love Highlevel. I'm not mad at them. It's just that's coming down the road, and we're very upfront with how everything works. But we did so much volume with Highlevel initially, they got us approved for the beta execution program, and I love talking to their developer team. They're awesome. Okay. So we can use it in the conversation panel. We can use AI inside of, inside of Highlevel. We can use the conversational AI with our actual iMessage channel. We can send group threads. And one big one is our software actually allows to send Apple voice memos directly in here. So let's find somebody I actually want to send this to. Let's send it to this one. And we built our own custom app into Highlevel. So you can just click this right here, and then you can record an Apple voice memo right in the conversation panel inside of GHL. So I'm just gonna record this thing, and I'll just click send. Okay, boom, 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 boom. And it's going to send. It takes about 10 seconds. It'll roll through the system, and then you'll see that actual Apple voice memo. I can't stand what Highlevel. Can you please fix the refresh between all and unread? It is absolutely mind-numbing how it bounces around like that. I would love it if you guys would fix that, because you're big enough. You should be able to fix this thing. That refresh is super, super annoying, and I would love it if you fixed it. Thank you. So inside of the dialer, you'll notice iBluDial iMessage caller ID, because once you set up the verified caller ID in our system, walk through, set it up, when you do your outbound, you know that it's active. So we wanted an indicator there. So if I dial a number, it's actually using the iMessage number for verified caller ID. That's all built into our system. We also have a custom menu link in here. So we'll take a look at that. Boom. Switch over to that. There you go. So you've got basically a dashboard here. And if you are on Whitelabel, it'll actually have your branding and all that on the agency. So your sub accounts won't actually see iBluSend. They'll just see your agency branding, which is pretty cool. The iBluDial tester. So this is when we first configure it, basically the call logs and everything else. We want a way to actually display the configuration, but it's actually very easy. So if you go into the phone system in Highlevel, right, and we'll just look at that. There it is. Okay, thank you. And we add verified caller ID. That's where you set up the iMessage, the outbound number. And then if you have lead connector numbers, you just pair the verified caller ID with that number, and then you can dial through lead connector or Highlevel using your iMessage number. So very easy to do with Twilio, very easy to do with Highlevel. Again, lead connector is Twilio, so same thing there. But inside of our system, I'm going to bounce back here in a minute because I want to continue showing you some things on the platform. So let me switch this share back over, okay? All right. All right, so we are back. We're back in our system here. And let's see, let's do a new one. I think I shared the wrong. I'm sharing my webinar screen. Oops. All right, so let's find that other window. I think it's here. There we go. We're switching back. There we go. All right. So we're inside of the actual demo here, right? And we're actually looking at this here, and we're looking at the conversation view inside of our system. And so basically all the conversation strings shown here, we have a full contacts management for, full CRM. So you can actually monitor things, opt people out, all that kind of stuff. You can see all the messages. You can actually see the group messages, all that kind of stuff right here in one place. And then you also have a way to actually look at the message logs by the devices, which is really slick here. So you can actually see all the activity on devices and filter down. Makes it a lot easier just to manage your day-to-day if you're using our system primarily, okay? We've already touched on the account management. I will touch on the BlueBot builder because again, you can assign bots at the device level as opposed to in GHL. You have one bot that's assigned to the primary number of the sub account that basically is on autopilot for the entire sub account. Well, what if I have different marketing channels and I want to assign different bots to different phone numbers for different purposes on a button on a website, for instance, right? So, you got a button, send us a text or whatever, right? And you do that. Well, and you can have, 10 bots to 10 different phone numbers, however you want to set that up. We have built this system around the best conversational AI on the market. We have everything that you should have in here, personality, training, tasks, behavior, safety and limits, the AI engine. You can bring your own API key, bring in Anthropic Claude Sonnet, which is great for conversational AI, and then the booking directly into GHL calendars. So we really want to be standalone. Obviously, you could use Google calendars here as well. So really up to you. More integrations coming down the line there, but you get a system for this crazy cost that we're providing, and then you get benefits like built-in conversational AI, right? So just keep that in mind. It's really rock star. I will touch on the sentiment analysis because I think it's a powerful feature. Basically, once you bring your own API key, this will help you find opportunities in your system if you're using our system primarily and you want to make sure that you don't miss anything. There's a lot to show you in here, so I'm not really going to go over much more. And I'd say probably the last thing I want to touch on is the white label setup. So if you're on a white label plan with us, this is great because it gives you the highest API usage. And then there's additional tiers once you go up higher. But this allows you to customize your branding, configure a domain, and then actually create a custom portal to where if you're trying to run the business model of allowing the home services businesses essentially to connect their own existing phone that they've been using for years, you can do that with our branded portal experience, okay? So let's just look at this. And we went deep on the branding configuration, probably one of the most comprehensive branding configurations. So like right here, we can add light or dark mode, logos, favicon, social share image, and brand colors. So all that's there. Custom subdomain. So, just like Highlevel, it could be portal.youragency.com. And then when they go to that actual site, they will actually see a custom branded experience based on what you configured for them, okay? The login loading screen, so the sign-in page, so the logo that's shown there and the image that's used on the background, remember it's 1920 by 1080. So typically if you're gonna put an image there, you want to make sure that the right side of the image is what's shown. You can play with that, obviously, kind of fun. But it looks amazing, really easy for users to set up, really easy to set up your custom branding. You can adjust the way the dashboard looks. We built that right in. So like if I want to customize my dashboard to actually have emojis or standard icons or no icons, you can do that. We also have the ability to integrate a custom menu link of your choice. So maybe that's your custom app or whatever it might be. And then footer customization. So you can set all that up, your email configuration, because yes, we did integrate with resend. So you can actually do email campaigns with resend inside of our platform, just bring your own API key. So pretty cool there. And button color, and this is something new we just rolled out. It's $249 a month, but it gives you increased API usage. And basically, not only that, it lets you fully brand the API endpoint, because right now it's our branded API endpoint URL. If you want to resell this to enterprise level clients, you're gonna have to pay for it, because API is something that typically results in heavier usage. And if you're going to do that through programmatic resources, just sign up for our API custom solution there, okay? But the inviting of clients is like rockstar easy. And so I'm just going to give you an example here. So we're going to create a new sub account here, and we're going to call it Whitelabel, right? And you can give it a description. We can select our market. I'll just say United States. This is where I would actually select a Whitelabel client portal. And then you can really pick your business model. Are you going to allow the client to actually configure their own phone, right? Or are you as the agency going to get the phone plan, set it up, and they will never see anything iBluSend? You can do both. By the way, there's full portal management, so you can actually go impersonate your users and see things in their account, help them get configured. Obviously, we're not going to manage that for you. It's Whitelabel. So pretty easy though. Love to be able to actually go in there and manage those different clients. You can set up your brand color. So I'm going to say, I'm going to do self-service, and I'm going to do Whitelabel here, and I'm going to make it yellow, okay? So now we got this new Whitelabel, and you'll notice that it's actually tagged Whitelabel here, okay? And so if we manage this new connection, all you're going to do here, and you'll notice this looks a little different than the normal connection. Basically, you're not going to connect their device, and you're just going to pre-connect their GHL sub account, okay? And the reason being is you're going to invite them to the portal where they can remotely connect their Mac and their iPhone to the system. But you're pre-connecting their GHL account, so when you send them the invite and they connect their Mac, they will suddenly see iMessages capability inside of GHL. And obviously, you're going to use iMessage Sender for this. Some agencies don't care, depending on how they're providing the service. So you can still select iBluSend or iMessage Sender, but for full Whitelabel experience, you're going to select iMessage Sender here, and you're going to click connect. You're going to connect the GHL sub account. And then once you do, you can sync team members, sync calendars, set the workflow settings, all that kind of stuff. And then you can also view the portal here, right? So we already have one. I can see it's right there. And then once you've done that, basically you can come down here to a team, right? And, again, your business model, you're probably, if you're doing this first step, this is salespeople, admin, if you're doing it for your own employees in here, but typically you're just going to invite the Whitelabel client down below. And when you do this, and I can't stand the password thing, let me go back out of it and click it again, it'll go away. You enter their email, give them an actual phone number here, set up their stuff. And once they get invited, it'll actually share their password in the email so they can sign in, and you'll see client Whitelabel and the workspace that you want to assign is Whitelabel. So it already recognizes that there's only one Whitelabel workspace in there, which is on the accounts page. And so whichever configuration you set up for their sub account, you've got this already set up. And then you can enable other features like AI features, iMessage campaigns, the bot builder, if you want to actually give them access to our conversational AI builder. And we call it iMeBot because again, we want that Whitelabel experience. And then depending on what you want to do, you can actually hide many of the actual features on the dashboard. We want to give agencies a little bit more power to control that. So that's built right in there. You just send the invitation and get this. the client receives it from an email that is iMessageSender.com. So we've got an iMessage sender version of the bridge. We have email for password resets and all that stuff. That's all over iMessageSender.com. And of course, we've got the GHL integration that is iMessage Sender as well. And the reason we have that again is so they don't see iBluSend in the GHL dashboard. So this is by far one of the most comprehensive white label setups, and it's very easy to do here. So, I try to take the opportunity and do a webinar to explain how powerful the white label settings are. Now that you've done that and you actually want to customize some of this. So if we go in here and we go into, I think it's under clients. Yep. And so how do we resell this? This explains the business models, just so that way you can kind of, go through the process. Yes, you have to read a little bit, but there's a lot of really good info in here. And, if you're actually trying to do the agency managed setup, goodness gracious, Zoom, let me scroll, please. Goodness gracious. So you can set the pricing that you want, your users to see in here. And so if you are charging them per month, you can set this up. So in their white label portal, they're seeing the pricing menus that you want to provide inside of their account in our system under your white label brand. So you could give it a plan name and give the monthly cost, and they will see that. And, you can kind of see it's kind of explaining, how it should show. But again, they've got a completely different bridge system. We run the updates simultaneously. So pretty amazing stuff there. There are so many more things. I'll touch on just the iBlue dial just real quick because I think that's important. The recent integration was for Telnix. So you can set up your Telnix with verified caller ID, whether you have Highlevel or not. We have a Chrome web extension that allows you to utilize this, and this will be incorporated into the iOS app that's currently in development. Again, our entire web app is mobile friendly already, but I think it's really important to have a companion iOS app. So that is coming. The standard voice lines would be for your GHL integration. This walks you through basically the setup. That's what iBlue Dial is. It's the configuration between Telnix or GHL and how you set up your verified caller ID. It's very easy to do, very easy to set up, and you'll love it. Lots of other great features like pipeline management, our own campaign management. We're actually building a workflow builder that's already fully functional with embeddable forms. We have a live chat for iMessage that's built in. So just a ton of features that are just all side benefits. Again, if you're looking at just the base level of service that you get with us, you're already way ahead. So I'm super excited to have you all in this webinar. I've been talking for a long time. You've had to look at my stupid mustache. So I'm really sorry about that, but I still love you. It's okay. And since I'm going to drop this on YouTube, I'm typically going to stop the recording right here so that I can answer questions for everybody on the webinar and make sure that I'm addressing those. Again, thanks for hanging in here with me. And I love you all. Thank you for joining the iBlue tribe. We love you, and we will keep pushing this kind of content out. There's a ton of tutorials that are going to be coming, but we've been just working so hard on changing things in the platform that they would have already been obsolete. So at this point, we're getting pretty close to just really rocket ship. So again, we love you. Feel free to reach back out. You can hit us at iBluSend.com. That's iBluSend.com. We also own the iBlue, so iBlue send SEND.com. Either way, you'll find us. Thanks so much. Have a great day.